This ain't a comedy, is it? This is supposed to be a serious horror film.
I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Now, this is thanks to Keven Ardon. Thank you so much. If anyone's ever interested in requesting a video of any type, review, re-review, commentary, what have you, you could do it directly via my PayPal, and the link to that's down below, or you could do it via my Patreon, which there's certain tiers. Either way is perfectly fine. If not, no worries. And Keven Ardon wanted my thoughts on Hereditary. Probably because I reviewed, which was another request, Midsommar, and then a short film this director did, Harry Asshole. I know it's Ari Aster, but I don't give a fuck. I don't know the guy personally. As a director, I think he can make some really good pictures, cinematography, camera work. The opening, for example, a slow shot, panning to a dollhouse, no cuts, no edits, at least if there are, very seamless. And then you have a teen kid waking from his bed after his father, played by Gabriel Byrne, comes in. There's some good looking shots. This guy sucks ass as a writer. He's, in my opinion, I can only give my opinion. I know people are going to be pissed, just like people were pissed at my review of Midsommar. That's cool. If you thought it was the scariest movie ever, and you were scared beyond belief, fine. I thought this was fucking laughable. Midsommar, I would say, is worse because it was longer and more fucking boring. This was fucking laughable. If you change a couple things, this could be the goddamn Addams Family movie. I'm not even fucking joking. Toni Collette could be fucking Morticia. Gabriel Byrne, granted he's more the normal guy in it, but hell, give him a mustache, and the little girl could be fucking Wednesday, just change her hair color. I mean, what's the Addams Family? They're creepy and they're kooky and spooky, which is what this fucking family is. Creepy, kooky, and spooky. Almost from minute one. Other than Gabriel Byrne, who just sort of... I like Gabriel Byrne as an actor, but he's really given nothing much other than be just kind of looking around. There's really nothing to his character. But he's the best character in the movie because he's the most normal character. Is the acting bad? No, Toni Collette is not bad in her acting. Not at all. She's just a weird, kooky, crazy bitch. Because they're going with the Dementia and Hereditary and... Let me jump ahead. If this director had taken out the supernatural aspects, and this was directly a movie about dementia and how that's hereditary, and so the mom, she tells a story at one point, she was sleepwalking and she put paint thinner on her kids and almost lit them on fire, which I'm like, why aren't you in a fucking psych ward? for something called Ever. But if you don't go that route, then go that route. And you know what? Maybe this would have been a better movie. Maybe this would have been a better film if it was a dissertation on dementia and the horror of having a mom who is that far gone, and you could raise questions. Is that paste? Is that passed on through the blood? Or is it the environment? You could bring those issues into it. Dementia, schizophrenia, all that sort. Because you have the little girl named Charlie, which one of the occurring steer motifs in this fucking movie is a tongue click. Because the little girl does it. Spoilers starting from now. 30 minutes in, she dies. But a steer motif is the other pieces of the family, well, other than Gabriel Byrne, but the others, they hear. That's a fucking steer motif. I got annoyed by the little girl when she kept doing it, and that's your fucking steer motif even after the girl's fucking dead. And then you get a third act, we got Toni Collette on a fucking corner as if she's fucking Spider-Man, Spider-Woman. You got, jump to the end. A bunch of fucking naked people as a cult, ready for their dicks, I guess, to raise that attention, or the clits. You got your teen kid, the boy, who's a fucking pussy, fucking crying, I'm a mommy. You're crying like a 5-year-old bitch screaming mommy. No scratch that. I've seen 5-year-olds that would kick this guy's ass. This guy's like a senior in high school. At least. It's that's every time he cries. For the second half of the film, that's how he cries. Not like, I saw a movie the other day. I shit you not. I don't know when this will be uploaded, but there was a movie I reviewed called Fresh from 1994, which starred a 12-year-old kid. A, he was a better actor than this grown-ass guy. And B, there's a moment where he had literal tears going down at the end of the film, which I thought, other than the music, but the actor, forget the actor's name, his first name is Sean, the tears just pouring down. Again, 1994 film called Fresh. And that is a little 12-year-old boy. Did that acting scene perfectly. This guy, maybe it's the way he was told to act. Maybe blame Ari Aster. Which you suck ass. You're overrated. Overrated, the boring, and fucking laughable. I mean, when it got to the very end, when he's got the fucking Burger King crown. Goddamn Burger King crown. Or as my friend called him, fucking Jughead from the Archie comics. And a bunch of naked people, some headless bodies bowing to a mannequin with his little sister's head with a fucking crown on it. He puts it, and he's the Burger King. I know, he's like a fucking Demon King or whatever the fuck. Pantheon, Tampon, whatever the fuck it is. I guess being part of the goddamn Addams family. Like, this is scary. The scariest movie ever. Disturbing, and I guarantee you there are people in the comments going, you just don't get it. If you like it, cool. I don't have to get it. I don't need to get it. It's either it's just fucking laughable. And then not much happens. This guy, director, so badly wants to be Stanley Kubrick. Some people compare him to it. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Whether his wannabe Wicker Man or this kind of a wannabe Rosemary's Baby, but not really. And I mean, in the first 10 minutes, the setup is Toni Collette, her husband Gabriel Byrne, their little kid, and then their teen pussy boy. I'm sorry. He's either bland or he's a pussy. That's all this. I don't even remember the actor's name or the character's name. The actor, maybe he was told to do this. Maybe it's not his fault. So I blame the director, because sort of I've seen this director's other fucking shitty work. So I blame the director. He made this this male teenager a pussy boy or bland. Anyway, Toni Collette's mom has died, and they're at the wake, and the little girl just looking at it, chomping on a chocolate bar. I'm like, okay, we get they're supposed to be kooky, spectacularly spooky. Just call the goddamn Addams Family then. Fuck. Let me calm down. And this movie, for a good chunk of it, is pretty damn predictable. Other than the finale, because it's so laughable. I mean, fucking Evil Dead films were... Evil Dead 2 is meant to be a comedy, and even that didn't have as much off-the-wall shit as some of the stupid shit in this. And I was going to say, there's a lot of points before that it's predictable. For example, Gabriel Byrne goes, oh, is there nuts in that? Oh. I'm like, okay, well, obviously that's going to come back into play, that this little girl who will go into shot if she has peanuts or some type of nuts. Obviously that's going to come into play, and it does. When there's a scene later on at a party, and oh, go eat some cake, and the camera literally focuses on the cake. And I wonder what the fuck's in the cake? I bet it ain't strawberries. There's another scene, literally 15 minutes in. I shit you not, 15 minutes in. It's a lecture where the teen pussy boy, did nothing against the actor, to all kidding aside. I think that's how I view the character. The character, I call him Pussy Boy. So teen pussy boy, he's listening to a lecture, and he's listening, or not listening, but we're listening to the audience talking about, trying to get all the details in my mind. It goes to the point where, well, because he literally ignores all the signs around him, which are plain as day. And then the teacher goes, does that make it more or less tragic? And someone goes, more tragic. They're like pawns in this horrible, hopeless machine. And I'm going, they just told the plot of the story, didn't they? 15 minutes in. Literally ignores all the signs around him. And we're focused on this guy who's daydreaming and just not paying attention. Pawns in this horrible, hopeless machine. So, okay, we already know where this is going. Like, this is all shit that a fucking blind man can see coming a goddamn mile away. 15 minutes in. You know what? It worked well in the 1978 film Halloween. But that was done with, a director who had talent named John Carpenter. Which I don't know if the score was trying to be John Carpenter, but nah, it's more of this trying to be atmospheric droning. Dum, 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 dum. In the first 50 minutes, pretty much, well, more like 30 minutes, a bird hits a window, Ghost Grandmama appears for a second, and then this party happens. You tell this friction between the son and Toni Collette. Of course, you find out later why, because she fucking sleepwalked and almost lit his ass on fire. And again, if you wanted to actually go with your convictions, director, writer, and actually go in depth in a horror, psychological, dramatic way of showcasing dementia and schizophrenia, and maybe that could carry over in a family, at least I would give it a little bit more credence. Not the stupid, ridiculous fucking ending. Give me a fucking break. I did the whole shit at the beginning of the video because I'm like, is this a fucking comedy? No. This is a film that people think is the scariest movie or one of the scariest movies, and I go, and Killer Comes from Outer Space gives you nightmares. I like that movie. I mean, okay, and Casper the Friendly Ghost, I guess, is The Exorcist. But I mean, hey, to be fair, people have their different strokes for different folks. I mean, to be fair, some people get scared by different things. You know, to be serious for a minute. Or just to calm down for a minute. But I just found the film, for the most part, fairly predictable. She eats the cake at the party. The teen pussy boy doesn't call the cops or any of that nature. Instead, decides to drive her home. Where the fuck is he driving to? The fucking hospital? You don't think it'd be easier to call an ambulance and get her the fuck there? Like, where are you? I guess driving home to get the shot that they have at home. I'm guessing that's what he was doing. Yeah, that's actually Gabriel Byrne when the chocolate bar. Tony Collette says, "Oh, we didn't bring the needle. It's at home." So that's why he's doing that. Although I think, again, maybe an ambulance would be closer. They probably do have that shit. They could bring it with the ambulance. I'm just saying. Or why wouldn't you go like, hey, little girl, you see this shit? This keeps you alive. Put that in your fucking pocket. But whatever. So one thing leads to another. He opens up the window for her to get air, which if you're going through shot, like, air is going to fucking do anything. So she sticks her head out the window like a puppy. Something's on the road. He swerves. She gets her head decapitated by a telephone pole, which in itself was almost laughable. Okay. And people are like, well, why was that laughable? I think because after that, the way the guy just in a trance goes to sleep, and apparently that's something that did happen in real life. I was reading up on it. Apparently the director, one of the things he based this on was that a guy was driving and his buddy was drunk and he stuck his head out and got his head cut off, and so the guy drove home and then went to bed. I'm like, well, first off, that guy's a dumbass cocksucker. And also, there is a difference between a movie and real life. When you see the same thing on both mediums, doesn't mean you don't get the same reaction. I'm sorry. As much as you want to be realistic in whatever you want to do, if everything's subjective, if any movie and every movie is different of its own, you judge on each merit. And at the same time, you look at someone in real life. If I saw someone in real life crying like that, I wouldn't laugh at them in real life, because in real life I know that they went through something horrible. Whether they're laughing like that or something else. That's common sense. That's why you know the difference between a movie and real life. But at the same time, what does happen in real life doesn't mean it always translates well in a movie. I think that's what some of these people do not fucking realize when they make these films. That they're not the same. If I see someone crying in real life, I'd be like, oh man, I wonder what happened. When I see it in a movie, I'm like, what the fuck, you pussy boy? You pussy! You're a pussy! Pussy! Diddle your pussy! just sometimes the way it is. But he doesn't do that yet. And in this case, he just, and then goes to bed. Okay, whether that happened in real life, once put into the movie, you just go, what? Maybe these characters are acting this way because they mention later on that there's a curse on the family. Except Gabriel Byrne, because he's not blood related. And the reason this is all happening is that this cult members, which Tony Collette's mom was a part of, they were rising this teen of the fucking teen demons, where the fuck, was supposed to go into the boy. It did not. It accidentally went to the girl, but the demon and says, I wanted to be in a boy. I want to be in a male. And so somehow, some way, they're able to get this girl killed. Again, because that lecture that says, like pawns in this horrible, hopeless machine. And they have no control. Fate, whatever. I'm just sitting there going, there's not easier ways to fucking do this? Like, why did you wait for... You could have done this when the kid was fucking born. Where the fuck you tried? You could have done it 2 days later or 2 weeks later. What fucking took you this long? But that's the thing, when you're going to Supernatural, sometimes you think of these things. If you like the movie, then you can let her go. If you don't like the movie, you go, what the fuck? And then, like, after the girl's dead, you would think immediately there'd be some friction. No, they wait on that. Let's say they go through a funeral, and the teen guy behind the bleachers with other buddies trying to smoke weed. I wish the story was about Gabriel Byrne and his point of view dealing with this crazy fucked up family. Because that's one of the reasons this film does not work, is that while for the most part, like Toni Collette, Gabriel Byrne, their acting's not bad. The little girl, for the little bit she's in, is not bad in what she's told to do. The problem is when you're entering this weird, kooky situation and already you're like, what the hell did I step myself into? You never see them as a normal family, or even a halfway normal family, which is part of the story, is that they're been cursed the whole time. But then when you start all the way here in kooky, there's not much you could go up from that. That's why usually you start with a situation that is lessened, and then you get gradual progression. But when you start off and they're 5 minutes in, Toni Collette's already, this kooky crazy bitch that tried to kill her kid and sleepwalk. Blah, blah. I can't identify with Toni Collette's character, and she's one of the main ones we follow. So if I don't care about her, I have no reason to care about her. Gabriel Byrne is not given much to do, mainly sort of in the sidelines. Or once in a while he's at a stoplight and he cries. Or, I mean, he's not given much in terms of strong scenes of dialogue or strong scenes of character. I can't tell you 5 things about the character. I can't. He cried at the stoplight. I can't tell you anything about this character. But maybe if it was Gabriel Byrne, you built up his character, and it's about this guy seeing his family fall apart because of dementia, and you do that in the psychological horror element, it'd be sad, like, oh my god, my wife, who I've been with for so long, and I'm trying to help her out, this gradual, not progression, but almost desecration of her soul that sadly she's doing to herself because of her brain and the sickness. No, we gotta go into stupid shit like there's one point where Toni Collette throws his book in the fire and she gets on fire and she puts herself out. Okay, she put on the fire. Much later on, of course, Gabriel Byrne doesn't believe Toni Collette because he finds a fucking dead body, the grandma's dead body, and Gabriel Byrne thinks she did it, which I don't blame Gabriel Byrne because his wife's been acting so batshit crazy. Toni Collette is telling Gabriel Byrne to burn it. He's like, no, I'm not going to do this. So she burns it. But this time when she burns it, now he gets on fire. And I'm like, so 10 minutes before, when she put in the fire herself, she got burned. By the rules of this fucking movie, she did it again, but this time she doesn't get burned. He gets burned. He's not blood related, so he's not cursed. It's not like, well, if you put it in the fire, then you get burned. Because she did it. She took it off his hands and then she put it in the fireplace. But yet he gets burned. Why? Just because to have a shock moment. Which is what I said about a short film and even some of the stuff in Midsommar. This crazy shit happening. And then there are some people who like the film who are nice to me. But then there's some people who are pretty fucking rude. And one guy going, well, just because they were drugged and you did pay I'm like, no, they weren't fucking drugged. This is going back to my Midsommar review. They weren't drugged at that time. Not all of them. Not every single one of them. Later on, yes. But not at the time. When I said 5 minutes later, they're talking about a fucking test. Goddamn their paper for their school project. Right after seeing a couple people fucking die and kill themselves. Literally 5 minutes later. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, because they were drugged. They were pretty fucking cohesive to me. Seemed like they fucking knew what the hell they were able to talk, walk. If you like the film, that's cool, but... Anyway, getting back to this. I just would... If you had an actual progression of these events, or if you had really, like, characters you really to get into... I don't even know if we're supposed to like the teen kid, like the teen boy, because, again, he's either... or bland, or a baby. The little girl, she's just weird, and that's her. Toni Collette, like, almost from minute one, she's in this... Like, people make fun of Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Shelley Duvall, when she's scared, she's not like that from minute one. Like, people can talk shit about Shelley Duvall in The Shining. I liked her in the movie. There was a progression to her being frenzied. Here, Toni Collette's she's based on the story, she's batshit crazy from minute one because she's someone who sleepwalks and she goes to help groups because of her family going history of dementia and schizophrenia and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, if you don't go through that direction, then go forward with that direction all the way. Not this stupid, goofy shit where one point she has a dream and then the kid, she thinks she's looking at her teen pussy boy and he's just screaming, ah, 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 and then Toni Collette going, and then fire comes up and then she wakes up. I'm like... Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Toni Collette, with what I think it's a shitty script. Toni Collette's doing the best that she can. I give credit to Toni Collette's performance. Gabriel Byrne, he's given nothing to do. But I like Gabriel Byrne. There's some good looking shots, some pretty pictures, some work with the camera. But when the teen pussy boy is going, stop, Dad, make her stop, I'm like, grow the fuck up, get a fucking pair. Or borrow them from fucking school. I know it's your mom. But stop being a fucking baby bitch. Christ. And then later on, literally saying, oh, please stop it, Mommy. You're you're a fucking pussy. Even with all the crazy shit going on, you're still a fucking pussy. I've seen plenty of other fucking movies that do stuff where the family members are trying to tell one or the other, but you don't have them going, mommy. Imagine any movie where, let's say you have a husband and the wife's coming over. No, that'd be a wrong way to do it. Okay, imagine a grown man, 30 years old, and there's grandma, or his mom chasing him. And imagine that, oh, mommy, people would laugh. What do you think is right or wrong? People would laugh. Whether you agree or disagree with that, in your mind, a lot of people are going to fucking laugh at that. If you think not a single soul will laugh about that, then I'm sorry, you're living in a fucking bubble, Ari Aster, director/writer. I know you got all the praise, so it doesn't fucking matter what bumfuck says. So this shit happens. Toni Collette starts to find out what's going on. I guess her plan was like to start the seance, and then David Byrne won't listen to her, and then she has his book, and then like she wants to throw it in the fire as if that's the right thing to do, and David Byrne doesn't want to do it. He just doesn't want any of this. And then she throws it out of his hands, like she takes it, but yet David Byrne starts on fire. I don't know how the fuck that works. If that's a random, why didn't they just kill Gabriel Byrne randomly any other fucking time? And then this fucking light comes over Toni Collette, so she's possessed. Then there's a point she's high in the corner, so she's fucking Spider-Man. That's when the Teen Pussy Boy is being chased. It goes to the attic, oh, please, mommy. And then looks up, and Toni Collette happens to be there, levitating, just cut her fucking head off with a piano wire. It's this director writing sequences just to go, how do I shock people? It's not going to make any sense. Okay, supernatural. Many people are going to go, what the fuck? That doesn't matter. My only point is to hopefully shock people, go, oh, whoa, and not let them see what's coming. You know what? How about you write a scene where the wall becomes just a shred of teeth, and then how about that person's pecker starts having a fucking saxophone one-off with the guy from the Lost Boys, and then this fucking vacuum cleaner decides to seduce the cat, and then this fucking TV starts to say, go fuck yourself every 5 minutes, and then this light socket decides to just be Siri just for shits and giggles. Yeah, none of that makes fucking sense, does it? Does it have to make sense? Okay, but then it doesn't. It just seems random shit, the movie. That's what the final act is. It seems like just random shit. And sometimes that could be entertaining. Sometimes that could be fun. I didn't find that either way, because I did not give a shit about the story that you've been telling, director/writer. I did not care about your progression of the story. I was not engaged with the story or the script. I don't care about your characters. Your last good person, I have no reason to give a shit about him. So I don't care about his fate. 15 minutes in, you pretty much told us his fate. When literally you have the camera on him and people are going, they're like pawns in this horrible, hopeless machine. And it's more or less tragic because there's nothing they can do. Literally just put a fucking neon sign that says, ending. 15 minutes into your film, I'm like, well, if people know their movies, they know how it's going to end. And I'll be honest, I've seen this film before, but I didn't talk about it because I didn't fucking feel like it. I just didn't care to feel like it. But hey, this was a request via PayPal, Patreon. Thank you to people out there, and so now I can let it out. And I did rewatch it again to have a fresh mind, and it got worse. I still don't think Midsummer is a worse film than this, but I think they both are overrated pieces of fucking trash. And then the teen pussy boy gets possessed and goes into his little sister's treehouse, and there's naked cult members, and his mom's headless head, and the fucking mannequin with the Burger King crown. He becomes Jughead from Archie, the fucking Burger King, because you're one of the 18s of hell, and a healthy male host, and the movie ends with people bowing to the Burger King. And this is supposed to be a fucking horror film I'm supposed to take seriously. That's supposed to be scary. That's supposed to be disturbing. I'm more disturbed by the last episode of fucking dinosaurs, where they all die from the Ice Age. I'm more disturbed by that fucking thing than anything in this fucking thing. I got nothing else to say. I think that for the most part, you know what? The actors try to do the best they can, but I think they had a shitty director who can paint pretty pictures. I've said it multiple times. This guy, he should not write films. He should not direct films. He should just, whoever is the cinematographer, maybe the both of them work together. Just do the pictures. Because I'm sorry, I don't think this director can write for shit. I don't think he can write characters, especially characters that are likable or engaging or interesting. I think a lot of times his shock value comes off as ridiculous or goofy or just flat out lazy. Just random shit. They become laughable. Maybe lazy is not the right word. Laughable is the better word. This is more laughable than some fucking comedies I've seen. And I'm not saying that just to be a contrarian or just to be, goofy over the top. I really do fucking mean that. When I say the shit in my rants, I mean it. To be perfectly honest, this movie can suck my balls. It's an overrated piece of fucking shit. So thanks Keven Ardon for the request. Like I said, if anyone ever wants to request reviews of pretty much any type of video, it doesn't just have to be reviews, you send directly to my PayPal or be part of my Patreon, either way. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.